Okay, so let's quickly recap what's going on with chest X-ray anatomy. So I've overlaid this uh, lung field combined with the trachea, bronchi, the heart, aortic arch, and so on. And I've kind of overlaid it on a chest X-ray to help us out here. So if we follow the respiratory system, not seen here are the pharynx, so the naso, oro, and laryngeal pharynx. And then we get down into the trachea, which is seen here in this darker spot. And if I overlaid it here, you would see it's held up by 16 to 20 rings of cartilage. Now, once the trachea goes down and it bifurcates into the right and left mainstem bronchus, that's going to happen at the carina. And I've already drawn my little purple lines here for the carina, but that's where it bifurcates. On this image, it's a little bit covered up by the aortic arch in this image, but it's there. And then we get into the secondary and tertiary bronchi. They're going to extend to the alveoli, which then we deal with exchanges of blood gas exchange and so on. But anyway, anatomy in this chest X-ray image. What we're seeing with all of these kind of streaks here, we call them vascular markings. If I overlay this, this is what you're seeing there. And that's something you want to see. That means we got good technique. That means the lung tissue is kind of functioning. That's an important thing to see on an X-ray. Also, this area here where the bronchi are entering and exiting, the vessels and so on, this area where everything enters and exits is going to be the hilar region. And so we see that around here in this chest X-ray. Also, here's the heart shadow. If we overlay this, we can see heart shadow there. And then also the aortic arch, or on an X-ray, it's often called, sorry about that, an aortic knob. That's going to be here. In the meantime, the apices are up here. This would be the right lung apex, left lung, and then the bases of each lung are here resting over the diaphragm. This would be the right hemidiaphragm right here. Let me go ahead and grab the pen real fast. Anyway, this would be the right hemidiaphragm. This would be the left. Then we have a left costophrenic angle here, right costophrenic angle. Phrenic refers to the diaphragm. Costo refers to the rib. So we have costophrenic angles. If they're blunted and filled with fluid, it'll look a much brighter color and will be what we call blunted instead of being an angle. Let's see what else. So anyway, yes, back to the actual X-ray image. Let me try and move this real fast. There we go. There we go. If I was going to match it up to the carina again, it'd be all right there. Trachea, bronchi. Remember that on the right side, we have 3 lobes. So the bronchus on the right side is shorter and wider and leads to 3 secondary bronchi. And whereas on the left, the heart takes up some space. You only have 2 lobes on the left and then 2 secondary bronchi that branch out into tertiary and so on. I think that's about it for this one right now.